is creating a free and fair environment for everyone to freely participate in politics, because oppressive environments will exclude many people, but that works harder on women because their lives are already complicated and hard.
Right, let's get back home, and the SKAL International Congress on Tourism is underway in Mombasa. Let's cruise over and listen in.
Excellent. Thank you. SKAL Kenya is extremely delighted to host you for the 79th World Congress. We want you to enjoy yourselves because Kenya depicts the whole of Africa. Here in Mombasa, you will find the sea, you will find the beach, you will find forests, you will find mountains, the Rift Valley, the parks. You also find deserts in Kenya. And of course, the hospitality of the country, the warmness brings Africa to you all. We want to thank you, you SKAL delegates. You voted for us to host this Congress twice, in 2015 and in 2018. And thank you for making that dream come true. The SKAL Congress coming to Kenya was an idea that was born in Sydney in 2010, when you had the SKAL at the seafront, by SKALigs who were there from Uganda and from Kenya. And they decided they want to try and make the journey come to Kenya. And thank you to those SKALigs. Let me mention a few of them: Tony Mwiruri, Larry, Hersey, and of course, our past president, David Fisher. We want to wish you 3 days of a lovely Congress. We look forward for warm fellowship, good activities, and a good time. Thank you very much, and karibu Kenya.
Thank you, President Sylvester. Actually, he's my boss. My name is Victor Shitaka, and I'm the host president here. I'm the president for Mombasa. So you'll hear this so many times, Jambo Karibu Kenya. Next is the president of SKAL International, Susan Sari.
Good morning, Jambo. I think I will now definitely miss the order, but I have been already excused by Honorary Balala that if I make a mistake with the list of the names. So let's try. We will, of course, start with Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala. I already consider you a friend. We're also working in an advisory board for a big tourism investment conference, which will be in London soon. Honorary Deputy Governors of the Mombasa County, Governor of Kilinani County, SKAL Kenya President, former world presidents, a full row, President of the International SKAL Council, Bill Riom, CEO Daniel Otero, Chairman of the LOC, friends, most of all friends and colleagues. It gives me a great pleasure to address the members of the 79th SKAL International World Congress here in Mombasa, Kenya today. And how time flies. 2 more days. A year has passed so quickly. And this is my very last trip as the world president. And I have truly felt throughout the year that I'm like a nomad traveling from one place to another. But in a very positive way, as being a world president truly is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I have to thank you for giving me this. Thank you. As we all know, we are part of the most interesting and exciting industry in the world, tourism. It's also an industry most people have an opinion and most importantly, an experience about. In fact, in my private life as a researcher and lecturer in tourism, it sometimes annoys me to hear the gut feeling opinions about tourism that have very little or actually no real understanding of the complex service and value chains behind our activities. It's also sad that very often our political decision makers know so little about the importance of our industry. And that's why I'm so happy to see so many politicians and decision makers here today. However, perhaps we should look in the mirror and make more noise about ourselves. Today's corporate world lives in quarters and it discusses ROI, RAW and KPIs. Success is all about facts, and this is why it's always important to highlight the key figures of tourism, to monitor the progress, to evaluate the impacts and to promote results-focused management, highlighting strategic issues for policy objectives. We also have to work hard to make associations like SKAL International matter in those fields where decisions affecting tourism are made. We in this room know very well that tourism is the fastest growing economy in the world. According to UNWTO, tourism has become one of the major players in international commerce, and it represents at the same time one of the main income sources for many emerging countries. This growth goes hand in hand with an increasing diversification and competition among destinations. Tourism is a principal export for many African countries and a significant source of foreign exchange. Wildlife watching tourism is one of the main tourism products for Africa and as such a key contributor to the continent's socio-economic development. Although the economic importance of tourism in Africa and the continent's share of worldwide tourism market are relatively modest, it's 5% of global international arrivals and 3% of global international receipts. Tourism has been increasing steadily with an average annual growth rate of international tourist arrivals of about 6% per year. Absolute numbers are predicted to more than double during the upcoming decade, reaching 134 million international arrivals in 2030. I'm very glad to see SKAL grow here in Africa too. However, still we have plenty of room in this continent. We are currently working with the African Union regarding an MOU and hope to have it signed very soon. I also hope that the 79th SKAL World Congress here in Mombasa will help you putting Mombasa back to the tourism map and also, of course, Kenya. In this ever-changing tourism industry, also SKAL International has to change to survive. This transformation has started, and some of the main changes are to do with digital transformation and statutes, as well as the membership categories. These will be discussed tomorrow at the Annual General Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget that with the 14,200 and so members, we still are the largest travel and tourism association in the world. Members, SKAL International should matter locally, nationally and internationally. And this is the aim of the strategy that CEO Daniel Otero and the whole executive committee is working with. Finally, why tourism matters? The answer from UNWTO is, it helps the development of the destination. It creates jobs. It helps in the environmental protection. It helps in the cultural protection. It brings peace and security. If these reasons are not enough, then what are? As actors of tourism and hospitality, every member of SKAL International is an ambassador of these aims and helps their home destinations in achieving their goals. And this is why also SKAL International matters. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, I wish us all a successful 79th SKAL International World Congress. Thank you. Kiitos.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'd like now to call the Deputy Governor, His Excellency, Dr. Kingi, who is coming on behalf of our Governor, His Excellency Ali Hassan Joho. Karibu.
The Cabinet Secretary, Tourism, Honorable Najib Balala, the Governor of Kilifi, His Excellency Amazon Jeffa Kingi, the President of SKAL, the CEO of SKAL, other SKAL officials, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Once again, I'm honored to invite you or welcome you to Kenya, the coastal region of Kenya and Mombasa. I hope last evening you got a bit of a taste of our history, our culture, and our cuisine. For that, I'd like to just recognize the organizers of yesterday's dinner, that is our own Minister for Tourism and the team. Please just stand. Now, Mombasa lies on the coast of Kenya. And we have neighbors, 5 neighbors. That is Lamu, Tana River, Kilifi, Kwale, and Taita Taveta. And in 2014, we formed ourselves into an economic bloc. We share culture, we share history, we share cuisine, we share language, the Kiswahili language. And today it is my pleasure to welcome the Governor of Kilifi, who's going to give his opening remarks on behalf of the entire coastal region. Thank you very much.
The CS Tourism, my good friend Honorable Balala, the President of SKAL International, the many presidents that have been mentioned here, of course with a small p. The officials of SKAL, my colleagues, political leaders, officials from the different counties in this region, honorable delegates present. As the Deputy Governor of Mombasa has just said, this speech is supposed to be delivered by my colleague and friend and brother, the Governor of Mombasa, Honorable Hassan Joho. But unfortunately, he's not in the country, and he was unable to be here, though he had really wanted to be with you as the host governor. So basically, I'll be making my remarks on behalf of 6 of my colleagues. That is the Governor of Lamu, Governor of Taita Taveta County, the Governor of Kwale, the Governor of Tana River, and of course, the host governor, Governor Joho. It is with greatest pleasure that I welcome the delegates to the 79th World SKAL Congress to Mombasa. We're honored to be the 2nd city in Africa to host this prestigious Congress. I want to commend the SKAL Association for your continued leadership and passion in promoting global tourism and friendship. Your commitment is a source of great hope for all of us in the world of hospitality and tourism development. Your choice of this region, and more particularly the seat of Mombasa, to host this conference is an indication indeed of the faith you have in Africa. The World Tourism Organization estimated the international tourist arrivals in Africa to have increased by 9% in 2017 against a global average of 4%. Tourism has indeed become one of the major players in international commerce and represents one of the major main income sources for many developing countries. This growth goes hand in hand with an increasing diversification and competition among destinations. Tourism promotes inclusive economic growth and creating jobs and attracting foreign investors. Tourism indeed enables people to gain job skills and professional experience and promotes social mobility. Tourism also drives the development of critical infrastructure like air and seaports, roads and hotels, which connect economies to global value chains and increase trade. When done thoughtfully, tourism can help protect the environment, and I believe the President has alluded to this, and build buffers against climate change. Tourism can help sensitize the world on the vagaries of climate change. In 2015, the UN General Assembly, UNGA, adopted a resolution recognizing contribution of sustainable tourism to poverty eradication, community development, and the protection of biodiversity. The SKAL community should be in the forefront to provide leadership in securing and promoting the future of this sector through sustainable tourism practices. Natural assets that contribute to the growth of ecotourism, like wetlands, mangrove forests, and beaches, provide a natural buffer against climate shocks, including hurricanes and floods. The members of this important group with a global footprint should provide direction by working closely with the government and other stakeholders in improving the regulatory environment for tourism investments, protect animals from poaching, manage pressure on water resources, and increase tourism's economic benefits for all local communities. In recent years, we've seen the important role that digital technology can play in this sector, ranging from the use of social media for marketing purposes through an online booking platforms and mobile phone applications. The fourth industrial revolution is a chance for us to embrace technology and harness innovation. By working together, the tech and tourism sectors have the potential to really create some great products that could make travel simpler for tourists and businesses easier for tourism operators and businesses. To my brothers and sisters from Africa who are here, it is important to note for the most part that the African continent is seen as one destination. We must be supportive of each other and ensure that collectively we offer to the traveling world tourism services excellence that is second to none. Tourism allows us to share humanity's most valuable cultural and environmental treasures with the world. Tourism enables us to teach skills and provide jobs. And tourism is a force for social justice because it creates opportunities for different social classes. It is my understanding that this conference has registered delegates from 38 countries, including Kenya, of course. I want to take this opportunity to welcome the world to this region and more particularly to the city of Mombasa. Kindly explore the business opportunities available in this region. Take this advantage of this particular conference to explore the business opportunities available in this region, not just leisure, but the business opportunities available in this region. One of those opportunities is a very ambitious program and project that in consultation and working in conjunction with my brother Honorable Balala here, the county government of Kilifi is developing a waterfront park that will be second to none, I believe, in Africa. And I believe that's another area where you can be able to come on board and see how we can work together to realize the dream that the national government and the county government of Kilifi share and share very closely. I encourage all delegates to explore the wonderful attractions of this region and more particularly Mombasa, enjoy the diversity of our culture, interact with our rich history and heritage, experience the hospitality of our people,